Carolina's Ava Braatz is going to be playing with wool today, learning about felting and much more, getting to know the fiber artist, piecing it all together at FELTasticFashion. Ava.
Felt it, love it, treasure it. A life model from Cecilia, highly influenced from her familial ties of interior design and fashion from her family being born in Hong Kong. She wound up through her travels at a sheep farm in Nova Scotia, and that is where she discovered taking wool and making felt. Beautiful, beautiful masterpieces that are not only beautiful to look at, I think we can all agree on that, but they spark conversation. So through her workshops and her classes that we're going to be previewing today, what will you discover about yourself and those around you? More on this when we come back.
Can't wait to find out, Ava. Thank you. It's a place with a lot of different hands-on workshops for felting, for fiber arts, all things wool, even DIY kit building. Access Carolina's Ava Braatz is at FELTasticFashion learning about it. And Ava, have you any wool?
Oh, I have some wool. Learning that it is fireproof, waterproof, and trend-proof because this thing is always in style. 15 years ago, her very first piece was a necklace. Cecilia Ho, your talent is unmatched. I mean, we are in your home studio here. I'm blown away. So, travels of Hong Kong and Canada. Tell me a little bit more how you got influenced to really dive into felting.
Thank you. I really enjoy it, so I want my children, my friends, and now all my students to enjoy as much as I do. So
wow.
I really want them to try it out. And it's not hard, it's easy, it's really fun, and you can create along the way. And if you make mistake, just make some changes, and that's it. So it's really forgiving.
Well, you've definitely come a long way from your very first piece to, we have needle felting here. This is a specific kind. Tell me about this method.
So needle felting is how initiate the factory making felt by itself using the felting needle. But now we're starting to create how we paint. So we can add colors. So we're adding colors and also adding different color wood. I'm using wood from New Zealand, so they are real sheep wood. That's how I'm mixing and blending them, and then I just laid out. What the needle does is actually attaching all together. So once I do like this, I have two needles. I can create some detail noise. What I need to just poke. Or I have a little tool with 5 needle digits, just like a little machine.
That's right.
But just by hand, you just by
garlic
punching. So this is how needle felting works. So you're starting to create. What you do, you see wool go to the back side. So like how I create my painting, you can see it will mirror image at the back. So that's how needle felting does stick everything together. This is 2D, but then we could also make something 3-dimensional. So I have created kits, so people could learn how to make something 3-dimensional. Of course, it's much easier to sell with 2D.
Yeah,
because this is spring day.
Well, these are adorable for like a snow day or a cold day like today. You know, you want to stay inside but still get your creative juices flowing.
Christmas ornament, doing a hat for the next
True. Well, you mentioned the sheep are from New Zealand, so is all wool the same, or you really narrowed in on those kinds?
Yes, so these are all corridor sheep wool. So the sheep that is corridor breed, so this is type of wool, so it gives us a different texture and thickness of the fiber itself. But in terms of another technique we'll show later on, the wet felting, I will just merino wool, which is you're wearing. It's the merino wool.
Yes, I was also seen at a fashion show in Vancouver. So back to the needle felting. This is gorgeous, and you're going pretty faster, but I want to imagine when it comes to something like this, a lot of detail goes into that.
That's right. Those usually take up at least 3, 4 or more hours. But in my workshop, all my students were able to complete.
That's right.
To do something nice and take home.
Well, an accomplished artist, recently in Town Magazine for the amazing works you've done. You have not stopped challenging yourself. I want to direct your attention to a 24-hour challenge right here. Cecilia, tell me about our lizard friend.
Yes, the lizard was done in 2018, the Flat Out Under Pressure with by the Metropolitan Art Council. So I enjoyed their 2-day. Well, actually, it's just 24 hours challenge, but in 2 days, we try to get everything done from scratch. So this was combined about 800 different dots or more.
800 different dots. I hope you guys caught that. Oh my god.
And each dot would need about a minute or two plus mixing the color beforehand. So it was a fun, but it's a challenge.
It's totally a challenge. And even behind us here, I mean, just a beautiful backdrop. And you mentioned it's kind of like painting, but a lot less messy, I would say.
Oh yes, yeah, right. You can clean up easily, put it in the box, and put it away, and come back and continue.
And those colors never fade, just as vibrant as 15 years ago, right?
I can say yes now.
Yes. All right, well, she teased it a little bit. When we come back, we're going to be showing you another workshop, wet felting, when we come back.
You can tell she's got such a passion for it. I know she was born into a fashion family, so really cool to see what she can do. Ava, see you soon. Girls. Welcome back to Access Carolina. Much more still to come, but first, a teaching artist who creates memories through the process of felting opens up her studios so that others can experience that art of felt integration. Access Carolina's Ava Braatz is doing just that at FELTasticFashion. Learning so much. Ava, looking good.
Yes, thank you very much. Wearing some of her amazing pieces. Cecilia Ho, known in Greenville being the felt queen. And if you ever felt like a fish out of water, well, Lenny knows how you're feeling. It is the year of the dragon. We're feeling inspired. Cecilia, what does that mean? Now we have our friend Lenny here.
This is the koi fish. So koi is actually the crabfish that is trying to jump out from the water. So in the past, when all the people kind of looking at the koi fish in the pond as they try to leap, it's kind of like the dragon trying to leap up to the golden gate. So that's how we trying to see that like koi is kind of a lucky sign and trying to be moved up and get better and
exactly jump out of the water of comfortability and challenge yourself maybe with felting. And we have a brand, we have a new method. We're going to talk about wet felting, and that's where this comes from, and a lot of different pieces people may see around town. What's the difference between that and needle felting?
Okay, wet felting is actually the ancient textile technique. It's like before Christ time. That's how people make fabric with wool, because at the time there's no machinery, no tools, but then they have sheep, they have water and soap. That's how we're gonna make.
They might not have had the pink and purple sheep, but we've come world since then. Okay.
So we try to pull out the wool and with different colors, and then basically we are not going to weave it into a certain pattern. With wool we can create. So this is the way how I create many different designs, and what I did is trying to connect all the fibers together. So after this is all mixed and blend in, then I will add soap. In this case, do it quickly, I'll just add some detergent. So that will add some detergent inside, and next up I would add some water.
Okay, and I saw you heating up the water before, so warm water is preferable?
That's right, because it will open up the scales from the fiber. Once it's all mixed in, I will start to agitate it, trying to tangle the fiber. And as I say, we can change any shapes and designs. So this is how I create a flat pattern. But then in a certain way, I can do it something three-dimensional, or mixing the color like how I cover the koi fish. Earlier, I needle file the shape of the fish, and then I cover with some merino wool and silk. So that's how it will keep rub it for quite some time. This is like handwork, real true handwork.
It seems very therapeutic.
It is. So like on a cozy day like today, you're gonna add some warm water on your hand and rubbing, do some exercise. It's actually pretty good.
Exactly. I'm smelling that Dawn dish soap too. It's very fragrant.
So this is why when at the time I would use some olive oil soap, which smell good and different. So this is how felt is starting to become. So this is how the felting process. So a tangling of the fiber is something like if you put a wool sweater or blanket in the washing machine, and it shrink. That's felting.
Wow. So this stays overnight and then you keep adding to it, or how does it expand?
Usually I have to get it all finished. So if I want to make something three-dimensional, then we have to create a block. So this is how people make hats, like top hat, cowboy hat. This is all done through wet felting in order to create a shape. And the shape, it will remain. Even we change any shapes, it will go back to its original shape.
Fascinating.
That's it has memory.
Oh my word. Well, it really is so interesting to get to know that ancient method that we see play out today, and check out this beautiful scape of Falls Park.
This is how I start a little bit, and then I do needle felting, add some more design on top.
Absolutely gorgeous. Well, we're going to check back in with her fashion line, Nuno
felting.
Nuno felting. That's what it's called. We're going to learn more about it, because clearly I needed to learn how to say it.
All right, I'm looking forward to learning about that. We're learning about things too here, Ava. You're going to like this. Learning all the ways that creative felting encourages playful learning with the benefit of building visual and tactile skills as well. And there's a place to do it all right here in the upstate. And the way some artists work in paint, Ava, artists there are working with felting needles. They can do a lot.
It really is beautiful, but really taps into the same creative licensing that painting and drawing does, but a lot less messy, as Cecilia was telling us. And I'm donning my other piece here. This is the Nuno method, and during your workshops, you teach them the needle, the wet, and this method. Talk to me about this one.
Yes, this Nuno felting basically is kind of like similar with wet felting, but the only thing we don't do as much wool, and we add on to fabric. Usually I will use silk fabric because it's natural fiber that is all tangled together. I use it to dress up simply, Like this piece, I'm adding a little thin layers of merino wool and silk on top of the organza.
Beautiful.
Or like this, just add on. It's kind of like transparent, and then you just add a little design on top on the.
Oh. And just effortlessly elegant and delicate. I mean, take a look at that silk in the middle there, that purple. And again, those colors don't fade because wool is, I mean, it's sweat resistant, stain resistant, you were even telling me?
Yes, it is. You don't have to worry about it gets stained, and you can just wash it off easily with running water.
Unbelievable. Well, I'm sure you guys are feeling inspired. I hope you take one of her workshops. But you guys also go into schools, homeschool groups, team building exercises. Look at this pillow.
Yes.
Anderson students are working on right now.
So I was working with the school, the whole school from kindergarten, K4 to 6th grade. So each add a little dot. So I said one more day to go in. So they were gonna finish the whole pillow with the wildcats design.
Oh my
so
God.
I love going to the school as well, to the community center, to the art center to do workshop. So multiple upcoming, like a heron making, or like the sunflower, or even the peacock. I do linen felting as well, needle felting. So every month I do a little bit different workshop across like Greenville, Spartanburg. and
Yeah,
Sudbury.
all over the upstate. Well, one thing that I'm taking away, that this is not an intimidating thing to start. Really, I mean, you just start kind of tapping and poking and boom, you got this amazing, beautiful work of art. Cecilia,
And
thank you
check
so
out the
much.
piece that you do.
And yes, Enrique, our photographer, even took a whack at it. Check out this beautiful scape. Oh my goodness. I think we have a budding artist on our hands, guys.
Are you saying Enrique made that? Say again. You made that?
Enrique
Enrique.
made this. We have the clouds, the water, the land.
I saw that
mean, we
picture
might just
earlier.
lose him to Cecilia's business here.
Could he be any more talented? Ava, you find that out about yourself there. I love that.
The next big artist in Greenville,
Yeah.
up and coming.
But that's what we love about showing these experiences. You don't know what you might be really good at until you have an opportunity to do it. And there's so many places that have, these interactive opportunities. It's always cool to see.
I love it.
So many places indoors next to heaters that
Even
have
better.